looking forward to see who the Knicks hires their next head coach. It looks like Mike Brown is the clubhouse leader. You reported that Brown and Taylor Jenkins both getting second interviews. What are the chances here for Brown and Jenkins?
Yeah, looks like right now, Moose, that Mike Brown is on the leaderboard, at the top of the leaderboard to become the next head coach of the New York Knicks. It was reported today by Ian Begley of SNY that Mike Brown will be meeting with Knicks owner James Dolan. And for what I'm hearing, he is the favorite right now. The Knicks feel like Mike Brown, based on his experience and his ability to get the most out of his players. They're looking at their big investments in Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns, and the need to get the most out of that talent. They believe that Mike Brown could be the guy for the job, and I think we could be headed to the finish line here.
All right, and even though the Mavericks didn't give permission to talk to Jason Kidd, why is his name still being thrown out there?
Yeah, Figgy, I think it's safe to assume that Jason Kidd was up there on the Knicks list based on his relationship with Jalen Brunson back at their time with Dallas and being a former point guard, formerly played for the New York Knicks. So with Jason Kidd and his pending extension still there and still looming with the Dallas Mavericks, people are speculating that the Knicks may be holding out to see if Jason Kidd and the Mavericks decide to part ways. But with Nico Harrison after the draft last week, all but confirming that Jason Kidd was going to be returning to the Dallas Mavericks, I think the Knicks are looking to pivot here, and this is why Mike Brown could be the guy should the door for Jason Kidd close.
All right, CP, they didn't have a lot of money to spend. The two free agent signings that the Knicks brought in, tell everyone about them. What do you think? Jordan Clarkson and Guerschon Yabusele.
For Jordan Clarkson, it's the best bang for your buck. It was unknown what his status was going to be going into free agency. So when the Utah Jazz bought him out of his contract, it was reported that his agent, Rich Paul, reached out to the Knicks in terms of a potential deal. For Jordan Clarkson, a 16 points per game scorer, provides the Knicks with much needed shot creation. He did shoot about 36% from three last year with the Utah Jazz, and so he provides much needed firepower off the bench at the guard spot. Guerschon Yabusele came from the Philadelphia 76ers. A big man. He can play the power forward position. He can also play the center position. And he shot about 38% from three last year with Philadelphia. So he's going to provide offensive flexibility, whether it's playing alongside Karl Anthony Towns or playing at the center spot. That will allow the Knicks to have true five-out spacing with a guy that you cannot afford to not guard, because Guerschon Yabusele will make you pay. He's a physical player at the 4-5, and again, much needed depth for the Knicks bench.
Yeah, CP. Giannis to the Knicks has been a topic of conversation for a while now. And in today's news, the Bucks signing Myles Turner away from the Pacers and waiving Damian Lillard to make money work. Giannis is reportedly not happy about them waiving Dame. Could that be a push to get Giannis in New York? Is that a pipe dream?
Yeah, it seems like we're getting mixed signals in terms of what Giannis's future is going to be with the Milwaukee Bucks. I've always been told that if and when he does ask for a trade from the Bucks, the Knicks will be ready to pounce. However, guys, the Knicks, we just have to understand that they do not have the best combination of assets to offer the Milwaukee Bucks in a deal. You have to figure that most of the 29, 30 teams in the NBA will have a better offer than the Knicks. What it will take to get Giannis here will certainly be the Greek Freak forcing his way to New York, and I'm just not sure that the Milwaukee Bucks would relent on that type of request. So time will tell. Anything is possible in this NBA. You just never know from day to day, but something worth watching for sure.
CP, let's go back to where we started. One last one for me, and that is on the Knicks coach. If it ends up being Mike Brown, do you think it's an upgrade over Tom Thibodeau?
At this stage, Moose, I would say no. But, there's so many inputs, there's so many factors that play into the success of the head coach, namely who his star players are, how do they buy into the system, is the system utilized to maximize and accentuate on their strengths and maximize their talents? Also, who's the staff that the Knicks will potentially put around Mike Brown? I'm being told that they're going to look to put some of the best coaches around him, and that there's also going to be an emphasis here on player development. The Knicks understand that in this new era of the CBA, they're going to have a top-heavy roster, and how they bring in players under the vet minimums along with the rookies, it's going to be very imperative for the next coach to be able to maximize that talent, because this team is headed for the championship, and they're looking to bring a title home to New York for the first time in over 50 years.
You want Knicks coverage? Nothing better than KnicksFanTV. CP, the Fanchise. CP, we appreciate the time tonight.
Guys, anytime. We'll talk soon.